you've seen the title of this video, you'll know that this is goodbye. The doctors are not giving me a lot of time. That's not actually true. Okay, let's start from the beginning. A week ago, last Wednesday, I was bitten by a venomous spider. So that part is true, but I am not dying. I'm gonna be around for another while. So I was sitting here and I was chilling. I was actually reading a book or watching some Netflix, I can't remember. But I had my legs sort of hanging down, as I will often do. And then at some point, I kind of pulled them up to make myself more comfortable. And that's when it happened. I felt this sort of stabbing, piercing pain through my calf. And so I jumped up and just started kind of shaking whatever was on me off, and then I at some point saw the spider on my own hand, and then there was screaming and there was a bit of panic happening here before I managed to reassure myself that the spider was no longer on me. I didn't get a very good look at it, so at first I wasn't quite certain of what it was, but then when I kind of thought about that memory of the spider actually sitting on my hand and what it looked like, I figured that that was actually a Huntsman, which is the most common venomous spider in Australia. Fortunately, it's also one of the less dangerous ones. So you typically will survive a Huntsman bite. It won't be pleasant and you'll have some side effects, but you will survive. But this is like my first time. That has never happened before. And in fact, I've spoken to many different locals, Australians, about this experience, and they all said to me that they had never been bitten by a spider. So this is actually really highly unusual to be bitten by a spider. So don't worry. It's not like they're chasing after us and trying to hunt us. That they don't. Yes, Australia is home to the most venomous creatures, snakes and spiders in the entire world, but they don't hunt us. They want nothing to do with us. The only case where one of them will bite you is if they feel threatened and if they do it in self-defense, which is exactly what happened here, because I basically had the spider sitting on my calf, and I kind of unfortunately squashed it a bit between my thigh and my calf, which is why the spider decided to attack. So at first what it looked like was just like a red dot from where it bit me and a bit of a redness around it, which I thought, well, that's not too bad actually. But still on that first day, I guess I was still in this state of high confusion because I had no idea what I should do. Am I gonna die? Do I bring myself immediately to the emergency room or see a doctor, or will I be laughed at? And you basically just leave it alone, and the bite will just go away all by itself. So I did what any typically confused person would do, and I went to Google. Yeah, it was quite reassuring to find out that it's not dangerous at all. I don't even need medical attention. But the second day, things actually got worse, because that's where I actually woke up feeling nauseated. And I felt nauseated pretty much all day long. And the article that I found actually did mention that is one of the things that will happen. So typically what will happen is, the spot where you're bitten will become inflamed, and there will be redness and swelling and inflammation and soreness in that spot, but you might also feel nauseated. And by the way, if you're curious what a Huntsman look like, please Google it. I won't be putting photos of a Huntsman on the screen, just because a lot of people, I think, would be quite sensitive to this kind of images. So if you're curious, go on Google a Huntsman. I won't be putting a photo up for you. So yeah, so the next day things got worse and I wasn't feeling very well, but I was still kind of in the spirit of I'm just gonna wait it out. and this is gonna disappear and go away all by itself, so I just need to wait. Then the third date, it actually got a bit worse still, because on top of the swelling and soreness and the inflammation, like the skin actually got a bit rough. I really thought that it would kind of scab and it would fall off that surface portion of the skin, because it was really rough to touch this whole spot. So I thought, okay, this is what it is. It kind of was looking a bit worse as well. And I just happened, so that was last Friday, I just happened to be at the chemist because I was picking up something. I kind of asked the girls, you know, at the counter, I was like, well, by the way, what do I do about a Huntsman bite? It's my first time, I don't know what to do, I'm a bit confused. And is there something I should do, or should I just leave it? And I showed them the bite, and they were, you know, quite shocked and surprised to see just how big and red it was. So they went to ask questions of their more, I guess, experienced or knowledgeable staff, and then came back saying that I should take antihistamine and use cortisol cream, I think. I opted against the cortisol cream because I figured, well, it's gonna be chemicals in it, and besides I'll probably just put it on once and then I'll be left with the whole tub. So better just see if my body can deal with it, which I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Maybe I should have taken the cream, I don't actually know. But when I got back home, I took the antihistamine, which was their advice, and I also started putting ice packs on my leg, and that actually really helped. So by Saturday it all started to kind of calm down. The inflammation started to, I guess, get better. Mind you, a week later, so on Wednesday today, I still have a mark. So there is still, I don't know if you can see that, but this is literally still like a, I guess like a reddish area. You know, we can even see where the bite, the actual bite, where the spider's fangs sank into my skin. That's why I guess it's been just a little confusing, because I just had no idea how long it would stay. By the weekend, the whole spot started to become, like, the redness started to kind of reduce a bit. The swelling was reducing as well. The ice packs were really helping, and so the skin actually became smooth again, so that kind of roughness disappeared. So I'm happy to report I don't think I'll be losing any scabbed over skin, but it still has been sore. So typically I would actually wake up with pain, feeling the pain and discomfort in that spot. Throughout the day I would feel some itching as well, but you know, every day it would get better and better and better. I didn't take any more antihistamines and only used the ice packs for about 2 days, and since then I've kind of just left it be. So now 7 days later, kind of looks like a bruise that maybe is on the mend and it's slowly disappearing. So yeah, it looks like I will be fine and I will survive. But it just felt like an interesting kind of experience, maybe even for Australians, because as far as I've gathered, I haven't actually encountered any Australians that have actually been bitten by a venomous spider. So I think for anybody this would be maybe potentially an interesting tale to hear what happens when you're in Australia and you're bitten by a venomous spider. When I was at the chemist, when I was speaking to the girls there, they actually told me that if it happened to them, they would be like screaming a lot. So I reassured them that there was a lot of screaming involved, and that's how it happened. So here I am on the mend and getting better every day. Right now I don't actually even feel it anymore, so this might be like a just tiny bit of itching. Other than that, it's good, and I feel like within probably next 7 days it's all gonna be gone and done with and healed, and the mark will disappear. This is my first ever experience, so I don't actually know how this is gonna develop. I might just pop a comment below or in the description, you know, as time goes by, so you can kind of see what happens later on to my venomous spider bite. So I hope that you found this interesting, entertaining, or at least informative, just so that we all can learn more about what happens in different corners of the world. So thank you so much for watching till the end, for hearing my little story about my experience. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, free of any unpleasant surprises, spider bites, or anything else that you would not wish to happen to yourself. Bye!